treasure hunts are something that both young and old can enjoy. While most people find no more than a few bucks in a parking lot at any one time, others are a little more fortunate. From 80 million year old T-Rex bones to parts of a still missing plane, here are the most amazing treasures found on the beach. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos every day. That being said, number 8. Ancient Megalodon Tooth. Shark-mad 7-year-old Foster Fraser always said he would find the tooth of a Megalodon, an extinct shark that used to grow to around 59 feet long, or 3 times the size of a female great white shark. But kids say the darndest things, and while he might have wanted to find one, no one would expect him to be able to. So when he found one while on his annual shark tooth hunt on holiday with his family at Myrtle Beach, he couldn't believe his eyes. At over 5 inches long, it was undeniably the tooth of a Megalodon rather than a smaller great white. When Foster first saw the tooth, it looked like a rock, but once he washed it and removed the sand, he knew that what was sticking out from the side of a bank was no other than a Megalodon tooth. Coastal Carolina University marine science professor Daniel Abel said the tooth is millions of years old. Megalodons lived anywhere from 23 million to 2.6 million years ago and were brought to extinction by the warming oceans. According to Foster's parents, he was the best person to find such a treasure. He loves everything about sharks and even has shark clothing and books. The tooth is now on display at the Riverfront Museum in Peoria, Illinois. Number 7. Missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. The story of the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 gripped the world. For a plane to go missing in this day and age is utterly devastating, but to never find it is a whole new tragedy. To this day, the plane that disappeared with 239 people on board in March 2014 has never been found, but parts of it have been. Johnny Begway initially found a flaperon, which is a wing fragment, in Reunion, a French Indian Ocean island. As the piece had a serial number, it was sent to the French Accident Investigation Bureau, where it received its positive identification as being part of the Boeing 777 that went missing. But 2 years after Johnny made that discovery, he was to find yet another part of the plane. This time, it was a square gray item with a blue border, and it was almost exactly in the same place as the flaperon. The flaperon had barnacles on it when Johnny discovered it, but this square item didn't. It also measured around 15.5 by 15.5 inches and was lying on the stony beach away from the water. Both pieces that Johnny had discovered had the same unique honeycomb texture on the inside. While he can't say for sure if the second piece belongs to the plane, he was reasonably confident. He did, however, say it was up to the experts to make the call. Number 6. Golden Chalice worth $1 million. Around a quarter of a century ago, treasure hunters started looking for artifacts thought to have been aboard the 17th century Spanish galleon called Santa Margarita. Even today, that search continues, and experts continue to uncover some fantastic finds. A golden chalice worth over $1 million is one of them. Key West treasure hunter, the late Mel Hunter, great name, was the first person to begin hunting for treasure from the long-lost boat all those years ago. Now, the Blue Water team works in a joint venture partnership with the Fisher family company, Mel Fisher's Treasures, to see what they can find. Blue Water Ventures diver Michael DeMar was the man to discover the $1 million chalice between 1 foot of sand in 18 feet of water. It was found 30 miles west of Key West and was the diver's first find. At first, Michael thought that what he had found was a beer can, but as he kept fanning the sand, he saw a glint of gold and knew it was something much more exciting. The team from Blue Water believes the cup may have been a communion cup and belonged to a wealthy passenger aboard the boat. It measured around 5 inches, had 2 handles, and was in the process of being studied and cleaned. It was an arduous process to remove the white crust that had formed on parts of it. The hope was that once it was cleaned, they would find more details on it, such as an engraving, a crest, or etching to determine its ownership and origin. Number 5. $1 million treasure. It was an extra special birthday for Hillary Schmidt from Sanford after she and her treasure hunter family revealed they had found $1 million worth of treasure off the coast of Florida. The sunken Spanish treasure from a 1715 fleet consisted of 51 gold coins, a 40-foot gold chain, and a coin known as a royal, which was made for King Philip V of Spain. It dates back to 1715 with a price tag of around $500,000. Number 4. Buddha Treasure. Two self-proclaimed Indiana Jones wannabes have made an amazing discovery on West Australia's north coast, and if it wasn't for expert confirmation, you wouldn't believe what they had found. Leon Deschamps and Shane Thompson were exploring along the north coast with a metal detector when they found a bronze Buddha figurine thought to date back to the Ming Dynasty between 1350 and 1637. The pair run an aquatic filming company called Fin Films, and they had been working on a recreational film on the French voyage during Napoleon's reign in 1800 to 1804. Part of that film involved treasure hunts for specific equipment supposedly left behind all those years ago. To make sure they got it right, they started doing a few practice runs in public areas. They followed all treasure hunting protocols, such as not detecting on beaches, national parks, or someone else's property. Instead, they headed to least likely spots like Maine's Road Reserve. After digging up a heap of beer cans, the pair were ready to pack it in. However, they were glad they didn't when the detector picked up something significant. They set up the cameras and marked it on the GPS. After digging, they found the Buddha that weighed over 2 pounds, heavy given its size. They reported their find to the WA Maritime Museum and also got in touch with the Chinese ambassador and the Museum of Chinese Australian History. Antique dealers identified it as a Ming Dynasty artifact, and how it got to Australia was anyone's guess. It is thought that it might have come from a Ming treasure voyage to the island in 1421. Number 3. 350 gold coins. Treasure hunting for coins sounds like a fun pastime for kids, or even something you would do in a video game. But it's real life for the Brisbane family of 1715 fleet Queen's Jewels LLC, who spend a significant amount of time looking for sunken treasure. In 2015, Brent Brisbane and his crew found 350 gold coins off the coast of Vero Beach. 9 of the coins were valued at around $300,000, and the total haul value was over $4.5 million. The discovery is not the first in the area, and it won't be the last. The company has the exclusive rights to the 1715 fleet Shipwreck, which saw 11 ships lost at sea, 1,000 people dead, and $400 million of jewelry and gold lost in a hurricane. The company was also chuffed to have found the coins on the 300th anniversary of the shipwreck, which made it even more special. The next day was even better, with another 75 coins discovered. The U.S. District Court of Florida owns all the goods, and a percentage goes to the Brisbanes and their contractors. Number 2. Ancient funeral mask. Many people would have heard of the 1715 fleet, which resulted in around $4 billion of treasure lost at sea after a hurricane in 1715. Many approved salvagers have been searching for it ever since, and an ancient funeral mask that washed up on a Florida beach could help them find it. The mask is around 10,000 to 12,000 years old and was found in 2019 on a Melbourne beach in the state's central region. Seafarers Exploration Corporation, one of the companies on the hunt for the treasure, says it forms a link in the debris trail to hopefully find the rest of it. Millions of dollars of treasure have been found so far. The mask is metal and may have been smelted by an ancient American civilization. Its primary material is copper, but it also has gold, silver, and iridium. Iridium is a rare material from meteorites, which means that it may have been taken from a Peruvian tomb by the Spanish to gift it to royalty. Number 1. 8-year-old finds old shipwreck. Some people spend a fair chunk of their adult life looking for shipwrecks and treasure, but an 8-year-old managed to do it in a single morning without any effort. A mother and her son were lounging on the deck of their Ponte Vedra beach rental home when they saw a large piece of wooden debris on the beaches of St. Augustine in Florida. The son was quick to point out that it looked like a wooden ship, and he was right. The pair reported it to the authorities, and archaeologists from the Lighthouse and Maritime Museum came in to investigate. They took measurements and photos as fast as possible in case the 48-foot long boat decided to wash back out to sea. Maritime historian Brendan Burke said the boat contained copper tack heads, which indicated it once had sheets of copper on it. It also had trunnels, which are wooden pegs, and Roman numerals carved into the boat's ribs. Preliminary evidence dates the ship back to around the 1700s to 1800s. The museum hopes to create a 3D model of it to find out when and where it was built. Treasure hunting can unearth some incredible finds, as you now know. Have you ever found anything crazy, weird, or valuable? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time!